Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton, and today we are going to invite you to an event called Put the Guns Down, Pick the Mic Up. My guests are Latoya Delk from the city and Daryl Redmond, who's with a community organization and nonprofit. Welcome. Now, Latoya, if you just want to introduce a little bit, you are part of an expanded city department. Tell us what this new initiative is.
So yes, I am the Family Services Supervisor for the Office of Youth and Young Adult Opportunities. It's a new component of the office to have like outreach workers or credible messengers work in the office. But the goal of the office is just overall to bring awareness in the community and reduce community violence as a whole. That's really what my side of the office is responsible for. And just with some of the efforts that Hampton's been doing for a while, it's built up into this point where we have implemented some of the plans that they've kind of been working on for some years. And part of the implementation is me and my team and the build out of us working hand in hand with the community, with grassroots organizations, and working alongside one another to be able to provide services to youth and young adults, to create opportunities, and then to also just kind of serve as a street outreach component in as well as that being inclusive with young people, young adults, and kind of bringing awareness all the way around. That's kind of what we're doing here in the office.
And I will say this expansion was specifically funded by City Council because they saw some improvements in what you all were doing before, but understood that you needed more staff and an outreach component and to be able to really touch the people that you're serving.
Correct. I think City Council and the mayor kind of invested some time and effort into gun violence roundtables and some other things that they've been doing in the community. And from that was the result of us getting city funding, ARP funding, grant funding. So now we really do have a little bit of push in the office to help us move this office to the next level of implementation with Hampton United, with our roadmap, with things that we've been doing. And so that's where we are now. And to kick it off, we're planning this event that will be in the community as far as our community assessment. And the assessment that we're doing is kind of to go over the scope and root causes of community violence. And it's a focus on high concentrations of violence in particular neighborhoods. But we want to use that survey to kind of cater our work, cater our specific programs that we will be implementing in the community with our partners and things of that nature.
So you're working with the most affected community to figure out what they need, what would help.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yes.
And Daryl, you actually do this sort of work for a living in Portsmouth, but you also have a nonprofit that is the component here for the event. Tell us about that.
Well, actually, yes, I'm the CEO and founder of Get Back to the Block, which is a nonprofit that's geared towards giving youth a vision. So what we do is we go outside of the box and think of creative ways to allow kids to express themselves. We get to the core root of the problem, understanding that, number one, a lot of our kids deal with mental health, something that's not actually addressed. And we understand that music, art, and different things that we do with our organization, it actually gives kids outlet to actually get to the deep root of what they're actually dealing with.
Like sometimes people can't just tell you what's going on, but they can release it creatively and think about, processing information in that way, I guess.
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty cool. So when and where is this event, and who's going to pick up the mic?
Actually, this event is November the 20th at Y.H. Thomas Center located in Hampton, and they got some talent coming through. But I actually got Delano. He's an artist that signed from Atlanta. He's from Portsmouth, but he's based in Atlanta right now. He's going to fly in.
Wow.
I got a guy, True. He's actually signed, been opened up for a few people. I also have one guy that's from Hampton. He's actually from Newport News, but he's signed to Worldwide Records, which is BKA Tahari. And we're working on a sneak peek of somebody who's real big, and hopefully I can get that all nailed down. And trust me, the city will really enjoy this as well as we will enjoy partnering with the city.
Okay, so we'll tell people to subscribe to e-news and watch for updates on this event, and that's hampton.gov/ which one is it? Be Informed.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
can subscribe to anything there. Well, you have a particular connection to a community that is having violence and challenges. Explain to me how your past has brought you where you are.
First of all, I tell people all the time that when you see me now, I stay the same way, but I have a past that actually is in the direct light with them. I recently did over 20 years of incarceration. I came home June 10th, 2019. Upon me coming home June 10th, 2019, I immediately seen how the community was, and bag up a little bit to probably 3.5 years prior to me coming home, I always understood I had influence. I always understood that I was a leader, but I actually met a counselor there that actually sat down with me and told me that you can utilize that to steer people down the wrong road, or you can use it to steer people down the right road. And 3 years, I got with him. I became a elder in the prison, which was a liaison in between the staff and the prison population. I facilitated over 7 or 8 programs in the facility, and I started seeing how the impact of actually me facilitating the program, how they grasped onto it differently than someone who had a degree or had whatever it was. So I had to understand that the influence I had, I can utilize and take it a different way. So when I came home, I seen how my community was, and I knew while I was in there, I started seeing younger people coming in that actually used to affect me, because I used to sit back and say, am I the reason why did this child committed this or that because of my past life, my past crimes? So
Because of yours personally, or because the same influences that influenced you in that direction influenced them?
both sides, because I say on one side because I did have drug charge, robbery charges, things like that. So we understand that when we commit a crime, it's a ripple effect. So the ripple effect, how did that ripple effect of the crime that I committed, how did it affect this child? And was it something that ripple effect caused to get to that child, to cause that child to do something to make him wind up in the position that I was in? So I started to think about it and start becoming more empathetic in regards to the situations that I was putting myself in. So I just made a conscious choice to change. And 42 days out of prison, I did a community event at J.E. Parker Field in Portsmouth, where the now mayor, the now Shannon Glover, the now senator, I know, not senator, he's on, but Don Scott, he was running for office, and all of them actually came and attended. We fed over 500 kids, and from that day, I just started doing community events. And then the more I got into it, I got introduced into how to file for a nonprofit and different things like that. One thing I tell people all the time is that doing the paperwork type of things, that's not my specialty.
Right.
I'm
right.
only designed to do the work that I do, which is my purpose is I'm boots on the ground doing what I got to do in an effort to give the kids new direction, new guidance, and get them to the resources needed to help them become better.
So do you think that sometimes it's better hearing from someone more like them, or someone who has gone through what they're going through and then, sort of changed paths like you? Do you think that kids listen more?
Actually, it's a proven fact that they do listen, which is reason why I'm also a certified peer recovery specialist. I went and took it because I understand that my lived behavior actually connects with them on a different level. Because to walk inside a situation and talk to a kid that actually doesn't understand that you could have lived the life that they live, but if they can't see it and identify with it, then actually is a deterrent for them even listening to you.
Right, because they don't believe it's a thing for them. You're an outsider. You're not a part of my community or whatever that. Yeah.
Yes. So that's how I guess the credible messenger thing came about, and I speak about it a lot because I go back to something I read that happened in Oakland. I think it was 2006 or 2007 when their community was in an uproar, and they actually had about 17 or 18 actually credible messengers in their community, and violence went down 71% in 1 year. So it's proven. I know a lot of times they talk about evidence-based practice and data, things that I really don't understand, that I'm learning, but those are the things that's actually there. I tell people all the time that I am evidence-based practice because I've lived it, learned it, did it, changed, and promote people to become better.
And Latoya, when your team is completely filled out, we will have one or more, it's get a little bit up in the air, of the credible messengers also working with you. Is that right?
Correct. So we will have a full-time credible messenger on staff and 2 or 3 part-time, maybe more, just depending on all this grant funding and money that we do have. But yes, we will have credible messengers in the office, boots on the ground, as Daryl was speaking of, doing the same work.
So you're in Portsmouth. We're in Hampton. You used to work in Newport News. How is that all relevant? I mean, we're not an island in Hampton, right?
Right. Well, I'll go first. So, take you back to funny, like I met Daryl when he was locked up in St. Brian's. Speaking when I worked in Newport News and never knowing when I would see him again, he would be doing this type of work. And so it just kind of touches my heart to see the guys that I used to speak to tell them that we need you out here, and now he's here doing the same work. And so it all works, and we're all connected hand in hand. Young people, young adults don't commit crimes just in Hampton jurisdiction, just in Newport News jurisdiction, just in Portsmouth jurisdictions. They go all over. And so we need a united front on all ends so that we can understand their mindset, their dynamic, and what services and supports we can put together. And you also need a certain skill set from a variety of people, you know.
Right.
It may be someone that, for whatever reason, Daryl can't talk to or connect with. Rare, but it could be, and maybe I could, or whatever the case may be, or someone on my team could, just from whatever the situation may be. So it's a collective effort for us regionally to do this event and partner to show that, you know, we all are in this together and building and doing the work together. We actually have similar grants, like we have this gun violence prevention grant that we received in the city of Hampton. Newport News received it, and Portsmouth received it. So we all are in the same work, building out our initiatives, building out our programs. So why not work together?
And so the goal is to really prevent violence before it happens.
Correct.
Now, it's wonderful that Daryl served his 20 years and came back out, but if someone could have gotten to Daryl before then, you could have been awfully productive in those 20 years.
Yes, and that's the thing that we always talk about. We talked, as she said, I met her, and there is a funny story because, well, I ain't even gonna tell the story today. But yes, she came in, and one thing that we always talk about, and it's the three pillars that they speak about now, is actually prevention, intervention, and then we deal with the recidivism part of the situation. And that's why me and my organization and the people that we collaboratively work with, that's the first thing. We try to prevent it before it even gets there.
Right.
So by giving them outlets and giving them different activities and bringing it constructive to a new day and age, is an analogy I use all the time. I tell people that we have to change from using a rotary phone type of mindset and understanding people dealing with a smartphone.
And so too, I mean, sometimes we frame this effort as preventing violence or reducing crime, which it is, and it's very important, and that's one of our residents' top concerns. But to flip that in a more positive way, it's also making sure that our young people are preparing for their future in a more positive way, see the opportunities that they have, reach out to go to college or to be in the military or things earlier, or to get a job before, you know, they begin to accumulate a record.
Yes,
So we like both saying it in both ways.
Absolutely.
yes, ma'am. So,
Now, back to the event. I understand that we're going to have a young person, not one who's necessarily headed down any sort of path, but who has a productive interest in rapping and the arts. And she's going to perform just a taste of what people will hear during that event.
My name is Johnny James. I'm 7 years old, and this song is called Phenomenon. Any, mini, miny, mo, catch a rapper by his toe. I ain't the child rapper goat. Can the others match the flow? If you ain't lit, you gotta go. Sure enough, yeah, I got the glow. Cinnamon toes up in my bowl. I hate them when the milk is old. I'm on a roll, on honor roll. Why you acting kinda slow? If you don't know your mama know we stay on go. That's Ramanos. Cameras flash, I take a post. It is so, I say so. Got them in the fashion goes. We getting green like vegetables. Man, I got so many bars. I'm sipping Sprite at mini bars. See me, you'll see a star. See me, you'll see a star. You ain't even get here. I knew that I would get this far. Gonna be on all the charts. Love rapping while on my heart. If you don't know now, you know who I am. Plan to take over the world with my fans. My life is a movie and I am the star. I came to prove little kids got them bars. I'm really something, yeah, I'm really something, yeah, I'm really something, yeah, I'm really something. I'm a phenomenon, ayy, I'm a phenomenon, yeah, I'm a phenomenon, ayy, I'm a phenomenon, yeah, yeah. Run and run and run, I go. Why I start, nobody know. Beautiful as falling snow. Now LeBron, I'm ballin', no. Queen is born, now watch me grow. Jane, yeah, watch her throw. Saucy it and pizza dough. You stop her dad, need a toe. On my face, say hi, hello. I turn pie, my light show. Ball out all like Five Below. We slide up in the mall for show. Little, but my swag is big. A pretty little kid. Pork out on the beat and slit. I hit him when I need a hit. Give me water, need a sip. I'm hot from all this heat I spit. Nod your head, shake your hips. In my bag, potato chips. Rock your tie, you should sit. Listen, cause I give good tips. Right now, that is all you get. Right now, that is all you get. If you don't know now, you know who I am. Plan to take over the world with my fans. My life is a movie and I am the star. I came to prove little kids got them bars. I'm really something, yeah, I'm really something, yeah, I'm really something, yeah, I'm really something. I'm a phenomenon, hey, I'm a phenomenon, yeah, I'm a phenomenon, hey, I'm a phenomenon, yeah, I'm really something, yeah, I'm really something, yeah, I'm really something, yeah, I'm really something. I'm a phenomenon, hey, I'm a phenomenon, yeah, I'm a phenomenon, hey, I'm a phenomenon, yeah.
Wow, that was an amazing performance. Can you believe that Johnny is only 7 years old and is a student at Aberdeen Elementary School? She is an inspiration to people older than her, even my age. So I hope you will go see Johnny and many, many other performers at the event. It's again at YH Thomas, Saturday, November 20th from 4 to 7 p.m. See you there.